Guys, welcome back to the channel. We have not done a whole lot here lately. If you tuned into the very last video that we did, of course you know already that my father passed away, so I've had a lot of downtime trying to get some things taken care of, arrangements being made. That's what we've been doing, a lot of stuff like that. There's so many things, so many details. I'm not even going to go into a lot of that, but that's why you haven't seen anything on the channel. The 20,000 mile review, I now have 21,072 miles on my Maverick, and I did want to do a proper review, and we will get back to that. But in the midst of all of that, I had put the engine that was in the Foxbody, the 2.3 liter and 5-speed transmission, up for sale, and I did have a buyer for it. We weren't asking much for it. Basically, I needed it to get out of there so that I could begin to get that engine bay ready for the Godzilla swap. So I found a guy who wanted it. We were to get it out for him, ran into some issues, as you saw in the last video about that, how we had an engine hoist. I actually had to sell the engine hoist, and I was able to sell it. I ended up losing like 60 bucks on that engine hoist. That the boom is basically, not basically, the boom is just too short to pull the engine out of the Mustang. Now the engine hoist that my brother had, I borrowed, and we got it done. Okay guys, I know I look tore up from the floor, but I've been out here since early this morning pulling the engine harness out of Project NotchO Fox. Turn the camera. As you can see, we have the full harness out right here. That's going with the engine, and it was kind of sketchy. Had to borrow my brother's engine hoist, but we have the engine out. I'm going to drop that down on the pallet so it's ready to go in just a minute. .3 liter 4-cylinder engine. We're going to let it down slow. Guy came, picked it up. I had coolant, oil, transmission fluid, power steering fluid, all on my driveway. Now, you Chevy guys, well, at least we have Chevy guys in my neighborhood. If they see oil spots on my driveway, they'll think they'll come out. Hey, I see that Ford is leaking oil. Well, we couldn't have that, right? So, yeah, today we power washed the driveway, and the garage is getting close to being back to normal. Still got to push the car out of there. Next week, before it gets cold, we're going to take and power wash the engine bay and get that ready, cleaned out now that the engine is out. So let's get out of the truck and go in here and see what the engine bay looks like now. Okay, in case you guys ever want to know how to clean your driveway, if you get coolant, oil, or whatever spilled on it, if you can look, there is absolutely no trace of oil or anything else that was on my driveway. First thing you do is you take some carburetor cleaner and you spray any oil, transmission fluid, power steering fluid. If you spray that with carburetor cleaner and then take you some paper towels or something and sop it right up after that, it will take those stains right up. Then we use the same thing they use when you have oil spills and animals that get caught in these oil spills. They'll take and put Dawn. So my wife's probably going to be mad at me. I ended up raiding her Dawn dishwashing liquid, and we put it all out here on the concrete, scrubbed it in with the broom, and then I power washed it with the with my washer. Yeah, so power wash come in handy once again. As you can see, I still have a whole pile of junk here from pulling the engine, and I'm going to get in here on my next day off and clean that up. But as you can see, yeah, the engine bay is now an engine bay with no engine. One of the great things that you will see is if you look at the shock towers, there is no rust. And that's a good thing. So most of everything that you see hanging in the engine compartment is going to be removed. We're really not going to be using any of that stuff because the Godzilla is not going to need any. Almost everything that you see is going to be gone. That's the stock rack and pinion power steering. That's going away as well. We're going to a manual steering rack. That one's about done anyway. It's the original, and it leaks. It was leaking on both ends. So yeah, that's what the engine compartment looks like now. Nothing in there. I'm going to pull that old, you can see the exhaust sticking out from under there. Somebody had put an exhaust. It had a couple of welded pipes, a couple of bolted together pipes. Yeah, it was junk. So we'll pull the rest of that exhaust system out of there, get all these wires and things, and then we're going to push the Mustang out front and power wash the entire engine bay. You see crud back there in the corners. You got old tree shavings and all kinds of pine needles and stuff back there. If you see, the only way we were to get the engine harness out, I had to take the air box. If you look right there, that's the blower motor and HVAC blower motor there. Had to take that out, and once I got that out, the engine harness came right out of that hole. See that hole right there in the corner? We're ready to pull the engine harness, and basically you pull the ECU and the engine harness all the way around and work it around. But what you will have still in place, you'll still have your wiring and stuff here for your lights and everything that will be still needed. So hopefully that harness is in pretty good shape. Some of these connectors, the wires are generally in good shape, but the connectors, if anybody knows the Ford connectors, when you go to pull those things apart, they always crack. So we'll see. But that's where we are. Project NotchO Fox is about to get back underway. Here's my, and it's funny because this is the same engine hoist that I use to pull the engine out of my other Foxbody, and that's been, wow, 2010, so maybe 2009 when I got that other engine in Venus. That was the name of the old, and that's where this channel gets its name from. You ever see that CS92LX right there? And yeah, we did a full Terminator swap on that one. Man, how time flies. 13 years ago, I purchased an Illuminator engine from the local Ford dealer. It was based off of the 0304 Cobra, and we put it in Venus, the 92LX. Same engine hoist. Then we hauled it to Cheek's Performance. Chris Cheek built us a custom turbo system. And man, that 76mm turbo really made some horsepower even for back then. And man, it was a beautiful piece as well. But yeah, we'll be getting back to doing some fun stuff and with the Mustang. So you guys keep on hanging in there with me. Stay tuned. We're recovering. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff going on, but thank God my father is in a better place now. And thank you guys for all your thoughts and prayers. Everyone, I would say 99.9% of the people were supportive and offered their condolences. Every now and then you get one person that will say something that's, you know, inappropriate, and that's in any walk of life. So thank you all for all your prayers and support. We'll see you on the next one.